Action.
Hi! Now, I've always said photography should be fun, and if you want it to be fun, it's very easy in a studio to have great fun, or in your bedroom, or in a kitchen, a bathroom, wherever. And all you need is what I've got on the table here, and that's a torch. Always work on a very steady table. I've got a torch, that's good. What we're going to be doing first, I'll show you these pictures up here. This is the type of thing I'm going to show you how to do. It's great fun. So what you're going to need is a torch, you're going to need a subject. You're going to need some way of holding your shutter open for more than 30 seconds, unless you work a lot faster than I do. And then I'm using the Hanel Combi to hold my shutter open. And I've got these. Now I'll show you what these are later and where you can get them. Now these are little metal cones that I've cut down to all different shapes and sizes, things like that. So that makes what I'm going to do easier. I've also, I'll just show you, those fit because I put tape around them. They fit very nicely onto my torch. So you've guessed it, we're going to do some light painting, but in a bit of a different way. I'm also going to use a laser. Now I won't shine it in the lens because it's not very good for the lens, I wouldn't have thought, or for the sensor. So I'm going to use a laser as well, and we're going to produce, as I showed you, those two pictures. Well, let's get, there's just one more thing. Although I've got a Facebook account, I must appear very rude because a lot of people say they want to be my friends on Facebook, and I ignore it totally. I don't confirm, because I use my Facebook purely for family and close friends, just keeping in touch because I don't live where they live. So I'm sorry if I haven't confirmed, but that's the situation. McCordall.com does have a Facebook thing, and Itchy Photo, of course, you can always get hold of me. So let's get on and see what we can do. This is what we're going to be photographing today. It's an old USB hub that stopped working for some reason, and I want to light tiny little parts of it without lighting the rest. So I thought we could play around with that, and you've got little LED lamps on it, and I thought we could try and light those. But this is going to be tiny. You can see the size of the pen. So this is going to be a tiny amount of light. We're going to try and light about 0.5 centimetre square to start with. Well, this is how we're going to light it. Now, as I say, this is the beginning. We're going to build up an image bit by bit. And this is just a metal cone stuck on a torch. Just a normal flashlight. And when I say flashlight, I'm using the American term flashlight, and a metal cone stuck in one end to really get the light down to the minimum size. Now if we move in a little closer, I think it's about as near, whoops, about as near as I can get with it being in focus. And I'll turn out the other lights. We can then see what we're going to light. It's a tiny part of it, so I'll go in closer with the camera and actually do a still shot. This is imaging out the camera. Now you might ask how to get the exposure. Well, it's as simple as reading the exposure meter through the camera and then experimenting from then on. It almost certainly will need at least 2 stops more than the exposure meter in the camera says. I've always stop down to f22 when I'm doing this type of thing, and it's a 6-second exposure at f22. Why f22? Well, I like very long exposures on this, and I'll show you why later, and I know that the 50mm lens I'll be using for the final shot is extremely sharp on f22. It's the 1.8 nifty 50 Canon. I've switched the studio lights back on so we can get our bearings. Now, I agree it's not very interesting like that, is it? So what happens if we move the light around during the exposure? Like this. Now as we go round the little bit of subject we want, you might be quite surprised. I went round for 16 seconds like this, just going around. You might be surprised by the result. Now I think this is going to give us a nice base to build up an image where we can light particular parts without lighting the whole thing. Now what I thought I'd do is bring in a laser light and just try and light with the laser the top or the tips and the stems of those lights. Now that might be nice together if we can light that piece in the middle, that piece, with the white light and these pieces with the red light. Unfortunately I haven't got a green laser, otherwise I could do it in green. But I'll do them all in red and we'll see what that looks like. So we're going to start with our little exposure there. Now it's all going to be very speeded up, otherwise you'll be here for a long time. This, as I said, it's going to take about 16 seconds on there. Now I don't know how long the laser's going to take, but we're just going to give it a quick try. We're still at f22, don't forget. Now if I pick out each one for about 3 seconds, this is very hit and miss. Well, this is what we got. Now I don't like the red light that's obviously reflecting back from a laser in that centerpiece, so we'll do it again. Now that's better. You see how the light now is more concentrated in the center. It's not spilling enough as much because I've paid more attention to it. A bit less light on the laser and the whole thing's looking nice. But the center at the top is a bit dark, isn't it? I think we should try and put something else in there. So let's go on and we'll get a bit more in that part. Now what I want to do here is light just that part, and a little piece of metal is in there. The camera angle is slightly different from this, so you won't be able to see that piece. But I'm going to take off this cone in between the exposure. So firstly I'll expose with the small cone, then I'll expose with the laser, and then I'll expose very quickly with this one, just to bring out the name, if I can, in the top of that. I'm not sure it'll be in focus, but we'll see. Well, what else do we need to see in this picture? Well, I think it might be nice to again change the nozzle, but I just would like to see a little bit of that. Now this isn't from the camera angle, of course, again, so that can be done. I'll just show you that without the light on. It will just be a little bit of a lick of a light, if you like, probably just about that much, and that'll be about nice on that. Well, this is our rough finished article. I've worked out that we've got 34 seconds in total exposing, plus all the time for changing nozzles, etc. We'll now go for the final shot, because that way I can concentrate without talking at the same time, and I'll show you that. So this is it, the whole caboodle. We go in with the very small one first. I'll show you that. Go in with the small one, and I'm just going to give it about 5 seconds each side. It's not too accurate, you don't have to be too accurate with it. So we go around the square, 5 seconds each side, for example. Then we're going to change the top, and I'm just going to do that. I'm going to change the top again, and I'm just going to put a little bit in there. And now it's down to the laser. Oops, drop something on the floor, I'm in the dark. And on the laser, just a couple of seconds on each one. And go around the other side and do the last one to avoid getting reflection on the black square. And that's it. That's how it's done. And this is the final shot. Now, love it or hate it, it doesn't really matter. What I've shown you here is a technique. Now, how you use that technique is up to you. But I find it quite an interesting shot, and I've enjoyed myself. It's good fun to do. Now, I said I'd tell you where to get these. As I said, all I've done is cut them down at angles like that. Now, they are in fact used by bakers, and they're used for bakers to put pastry around them like that, and when the pastry is cooked, they withdraw the metal and then fill the inside with cream. So that's what those are, and they fit perfectly into the torch that I was using. As if by magic, there it is. And that fits perfectly in there, so I just packed it out with tape so it fits in there very tight. Now, unfortunately, there's no make on this, but it's 3 centimetres across the front, so very simply, and there's a 30 marked on there for millimetres, so that's what it is. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe, please. Tell all your friends. And come and see us again soon on Itchy Photo. You could upload some of your pictures onto Itchy Photo. Come and see us on McCordall.com and see you soon. Bye!